generation. If it were up to me, I would drop an atomic bomb on the whole generation.
Hey.
What are you doing here?
Decided to swing in, crash your date, found your Tinder. Looks like you guys are having a good time.
Yes, he's in the bathroom right now. I'd really appreciate it if you were gone before he comes back.
Okay. Huh. This is?
Are you kidding me?
Nope. Let him know that is delicious. Don't bother coming home.
Somebody tell me why I have a beautiful house, warm, cozy, and yet this is where my husband is.
You know, this really reminds me of Proverbs 21:9, where God says it's better to live on a corner of the roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife. Honestly, I feel so bad for that man.
Why? No, give me the recording. Give it to me now.
I'm divorcing my wife for 26 years. She's a great woman. She don't cheat. She cook. You know what I'm saying? She supported me when I have no money, nothing. Sex is great. She's just my #1 supporter. She's a great woman. Seriously, like, she everything, a man could want. But as I reflect, I just gotta choose myself. And that's how dumb you sound online.
Before we even get comfortable, this clip tells you everything you need to know because it only takes 2 sentences for the mask to slip. Before we dive in, drop a comment. Are modern men more delusional, or is it the ladies? Hit like and subscribe so you don't miss what we expose next. What he immediately clocks, and rightly so, is the irony. Not subtle irony, not clever irony. The loud, embarrassing kind. He's clearly mocking a growing trend where people jump online announcing a divorce, not because of abuse, betrayal, or neglect, but because their partner was too good, while somehow still not good enough. Think about how backwards that sounds. On one hand, the husband checks all the boxes, stable, present, supportive, does what he's supposed to do. On the other hand, the narrative suddenly shifts to, I deserve more. More excitement, more feelings, more validation, more fantasy, no clear standard, no finish line, just a moving goalpost. This is where the satire hits, because it exposes a deeper issue. Modern entitlement dressed up as empowerment. The internet has normalized the idea that dissatisfaction alone is justification. No accountability required. If you're bored, it's his fault. If you're unfulfilled, it's his fault. If the relationship isn't giving movie-level dopamine every day, then clearly you married the wrong person. And what makes it worse is the performance of it all. These videos aren't private reflections. They're public declarations. Announcements made for applause, validation, and comments saying, "You go, queen," with zero interrogation of whether the expectations were ever realistic to begin with. So when he starts making fun of it immediately, that's not cruelty. That's pattern recognition. He's pointing out how absurd it is to punish stability while demanding perfection, to mock commitment while complaining about a lack of real men, to say he was everything I asked for, followed immediately by, and that still wasn't enough. That contradiction isn't rare anymore. It's cultural, and this clip wastes no time calling it out.
If chivalry is dead, women like yourself killed it. Let's take your video for example. You stated in your video that one man did help you with your bags. Instead of you appreciating the fact that you got help with your bags from a stranger that doesn't owe you anything and decided to help you, you got on here and complained that more men didn't help you. Your lack of appreciation and your entitled attitude is why you have the outlook that you do on this situation. It's as if you want men to help you every step of the way throughout your day. And why would they do that? You're not struggling with the bags that you have. You barely have any bags. You look physically capable to carry the few bags that you have. So again, it's not as if you were struggling with the bags and you needed help. Stop feeling entitled to strangers helping you and appreciate it when they do help you.
Don't be one of these guys. Don't be one of these guys. You see how they're getting put on display like this. They made a whole museum out of that don't respect themselves. Don't be one of these guys. You thought, let me give this girl a second chance. She may have cheated. She may have got cracked by another. But hey, I don't respect myself enough, so I'm going to stay. And now they put you into a museum of. And now they're all clowning you. Look where your flipping aspirations lead to you, bro. Don't be one of these guys, bro. For the world to see, everyone knows you got treated like a bum and you stayed. Bro.
There she is. You guys have no idea how lucky I am that I'm married to her. Oh, hey.
What are you looking at?
I was watching you. You were coming up.
Dude, you have a problem? You're like a...
And this right here is where the sarcasm turns surgical. That round of applause isn't praise. It's a public acknowledgement of reality. The reality that some people don't just exit relationships. They remove themselves from the dating ecosystem entirely and unintentionally do everyone else a favor in the process. Calling her an absolute gem is deliberate. It highlights how often self-labeling replaces self-reflection. In modern dating culture, confidence is celebrated, but accountability is optional. People crown themselves as rare, high value, and misunderstood, while leaving a trail of failed relationships they refuse to examine. So when someone willingly commits to that chaos long term, yes, the market notices. This is also a subtle commentary on scarcity myths. We're constantly told that good partners are rare, that men or women of quality are disappearing. But clips like this expose a different truth. It's not a lack of options, it's a lack of self-awareness. Keeping unrealistic expectations off the market doesn't hurt anyone else. It stabilizes things, and notice how clean the exit is. No rage, no insults, just dry humor and a quiet nod to the audience that understands what's being said without it being spelled out. That's why this resonates. It's not bitterness, it's clarity. The kind that comes after watching the same patterns repeat over and over. Even the like request at the end fits the tone. Calm, appreciative, confident, no desperation, no validation, begging. Just, if you see what I see, you know why this matters. And that's why people respond to it. Because beneath the joke is a hard truth. Not everyone who leaves a relationship is a loss. Sometimes it's a correction.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just being you for the day.
What do you mean?
Playing video games, drinking a beer, having some snacks, just sitting around doing nothing. What are you doing?
I'm being you for the day.
Oh, really? So you think I just stand in the kitchen and stare out the window all day?
No, I'm trying to think of ways to start an argument.
Woman in jail accused of killing her own husband and
husband and saying, I need more. I need you to do more. I am exhausted. I am in charge of everyone and everything in this house. Every night when we cook dinner, you ask me what to make. Every day when you drop off the kids at daycare, you ask me what they need in their backpacks. I am the project manager of this home and I need you to do more. And he looked at me and he said, okay, just tell me what to do. Right? Every woman has heard this. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Yep, this is a common complaint from women. Like, why do men need to be told what to do? Are they being passive aggressive? Is this weaponized incompetence? Are they lazy? Are they stupid? No, they're smart. Because in most cases, the shared responsibility that's being pushed by the woman is a scam. She says, I need you to make this decision. But guess what? If you as the man make the wrong decision, then all hell breaks loose. She might say, just figure it out. Use your own judgment. But that doesn't mean that she's going to agree with whatever judgment you make, that she's going to follow your leadership and support your choice. Again, this is the female privilege, because so many women, they want the man to make the decision, but they also want the freedom to undermine and criticize whatever decision you make. Hey honey, what would you like for dinner tonight? Oh, I don't mind. You decide. Okay, no worries. Let's get some pizza. No, not pizza. Oh, okay. All right, well, let's get some Thai food. No, I don't really feel like Thai food. Okay, well, what food do you want? Don't yell at me. I'm not yelling. I just want to know, what do you want for dinner? I told you, I don't care. I want you to decide. It is such bullshit. Anyone who pulls this crap, it's so childish. They need to grow up. Women, if you want men to help more, maybe you could make a little bit more effort in understanding the way that men work. We're not going to do this shared responsibility scam. We're not falling for it. And we will not take responsibility for anything that we don't have authority over. This is how it is from a man's perspective. Am I in charge or am I not in charge? What's the bottom line? If you are in charge, that's completely fine with me. You take ownership of it, you take accountability, great. You have my full support and I'll help however I can. My body is just an instrument of your mind. Tell me what to do. But if I'm in charge, then I expect the same. I want your full support. I want clearly defined roles and expectations. And I refuse to be in a relationship where I can be undermined or criticized at a moment.
This part cuts even deeper because it exposes a dynamic most people recognize but rarely call out. It's not about whether the task gets done, it's about control. A man can follow the instruction to the letter, meet the request exactly as stated, and still end up on the receiving end of frustration, criticism, or disappointment. Why? Because the goalpost was never the task itself. This is where intention gets rewritten after the fact. The request wasn't really, "Can you do this?" It was, "Can you read my mind, anticipate my preferences, and execute it in the exact way I imagined without me clearly communicating that?" And when that unspoken standard isn't met, the complaint suddenly becomes justified. What makes this especially corrosive is that effort becomes meaningless. Results don't matter. Compliance doesn't matter. Even goodwill doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is having something to be dissatisfied about. And once someone adopts that mindset, no amount of cooperation will ever be enough. Over time, this creates a lose-lose environment. The man learns that action doesn't lead to appreciation, only scrutiny. So initiative dies, motivation dies, and eventually so does emotional investment. Meanwhile, the person complaining convinces themselves they're just being particular or high standard, when in reality they're manufacturing conflict to avoid accountability for their own discontent. This isn't about healthy preferences or clear communication. Those are normal. This is about a pattern where dissatisfaction becomes a personality trait, where complaining is mistaken for discernment, and where relationships slowly suffocate, not because someone refused to step up, but because stepping up was never going to be acknowledged in the first place. And that's the uncomfortable truth. Some people aren't looking for solutions. They're looking for problems, because problems keep them feeling justified, superior, and perpetually wronged.
Friend who's in a long-distance relationship cheated on her boyfriend. Can you call her pretending to be friends with her boyfriend and tell her that you know she cheated? Is this Kayla?
Yeah. Who is this?
Kayla, you go to FSU, right?
Yeah.
Were you at a Halloween party the other weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who are you?
My name's Jackson. You went with Alex, right? He's one of my boys.
Yeah.
And then,
You're
like
his friend?
Yeah, I'm Alex's friend. You went home with Alex after, right? In his white BMW?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting because, Kayla, I actually made that whole story up. I'm not actually Alex's friend. I'm Gabe's friend. You know, your boyfriend. The guy you've been dating for 3 years. Did you think about him while you walked into that Halloween party dressed as Starfire with your little Nightwing boy toy, huh?
Yeah, that's just like my friend. I just wanted to be Starfire, and he like...
So then why weren't you picking up your boyfriend's calls that night? You've been dating Gabe for 3 years and you threw it all away. You threw out 3 years of a happy relationship with you and Gabe just to be with some dude named Alex for one night at a Halloween party. Why would you do that, Kayla?
I don't remember anything. You're making this up.
You didn't cheat on Gabe?
No.
Well then why did you go home with Alex in his BMW? Because he was taking you home. It doesn't matter who I am. All that matters is Gabe still thinks you love him, and Gabe still thinks that you guys are in a loving relationship, which you obviously are not. Do you want me to be the one to tell Gabe about what you did on Halloween, or do you want to be the one?
I'm not gonna tell him anything
You're not gonna, okay, so great, I'll tell him, it's fine. And he can be the one to break up with you and dump you. I'm Gabe's friend, and I go to FSU too, and I saw you. I got all the info. I know who you are. I haven't told Gabe yet because I don't know how to tell him, but I will tell him if you don't confess.
He was just taking me home and we're friends.
He was just taking you home and you were friends. Then why were you guys hugging up all in each other, taking pictures with each other, and dressed up as superheroes who are in some intimate relationship? Because it was cute. Then why didn't you pick up your boyfriend's phone that night?
I don't know. I don't remember anything.
Kayla, I can call Gabe right now, but I don't think you want that, do you?
No, I don't. I'm gonna text him myself.
Oh, go text him yourself. Yeah, go ahead. Give him your side of the story, and I'll tell him right after what really happened. If you don't want me to tell Gabe what really happened, here's what you gotta do. You need to call Gabe up. You need to tell Gabe that you cheated on him on Halloween with a dude named Alex, and then you need to break up with him because he's never gonna see your guts after he hears what really happened.
I'm not gonna break up with him.
Okay, then he's gonna break up with you after I tell him everything.
You're not gonna tell anything because I didn't do anything.
So getting in a car with some dude at a Halloween party and going home with it, by the way, he didn't drop you off at your house. Okay, I know what dorm you live in. You went to his house. So are you going to keep doing this, or are you going to tell your boyfriend you cheated, okay? This relationship needs to end because I, for one, am not going to let it continue. So I'm going to call Gabe in the morning, and I'm going to ask him if anything's up. If I hear from Gabe that you didn't apologize and you didn't break up with him, then I'm going to be the one to personally tell him. And trust me, I'll give him all the juicy details. I got everything. Kayla, I got pictures, okay?
Today, on how sexism is only funny if it's about men, please see the following.
Under my leadership, women would not have to pay taxes. No, they wouldn't. You're a woman. No taxes for you. Everything is tax write-off for you.
Oh, it gets better.
Tampons, free. Pads, free. Anything to do with menstrual cycle and pain is free.
And how are those going to be paid for? Oh, yeah, that's right. That half of the population that would be left paying taxes would be footing the bill for those.
Next, we are going to stop funding male medical research. No more of it. From now on, we are only doing studies and research for women, on women's health only. From here on out, thank you so much.
So half of the population is not deserving of medical research? Oh dear.
Next, all men must go to work under my leadership. Yes, you must. You must be at work. Providing for any woman and every woman in your life. It's a requirement under my leadership.
Yeah, no. There are those of us women out there that can actually take care of ourselves. Sorry that some don't fall into that category.
And finally, every man is guilty until proven innocent. That's just a quick little roundup under my leadership of what I'm aiming, okay? Thank you. This is the Simona Project.
I'm sure I'm not the only one who's wondering, who exactly is going to be enforcing this new sexist regime?
This is where the commentary stops being polite and starts being honest, because what's being described isn't masculinity versus femininity. It's adulthood versus arrested development. The toddler mindset comparison isn't about age or gender. It's about behavior, impulsivity, entitlement, emotional outbursts when reality doesn't bend to preference. The expectation that the world, and especially our partner, should constantly adapt to them with no reciprocal effort or self-examination. That's not empowerment. That's immaturity with better branding. For years, we've been sold the idea that women mature faster than men. And in some areas, early on, that can be true. But maturity isn't about how fast you start. It's about whether you keep going. Because what we're seeing more often now is early confidence mistaken for long-term growth. A quick burn of self-assurance that never evolves into patience, accountability, or emotional regulation. That's what the shorter burn line really points to. If growth stalls, everything after that is just repetition. The same complaints, the same patterns, the same failed relationships, each time blamed on a new villain. And eventually, that stagnation gets broadcast online as content framed as bravery, self-love, or knowing your worth, when it's really just unresolved dissatisfaction. The woman in the video isn't unique. She's a product of a culture that rewards grievance over growth, that encourages people to externalize every failure and internalize every compliment, where self-reflection is optional, but self-righteousness is mandatory. And that's how you end up with videos like this. Not because someone was wronged, but because someone never learned how to mature past their own expectations. Not everything that feels justified is actually healthy. And not everyone who speaks confidently is speaking from wisdom. Sometimes it's just a stalled mindset with a microphone.
Of a woman that divorces her husband. In my experience, the most common job of a woman who divorces her husband is either a nurse. The infidelity rates are the highest among nurses. Teachers. There's a lot when it comes to teachers, because teachers are it's a predominantly female profession, so it's women who spend a lot of time with other women, and they spend a lot of that time talking about how much their husbands suck or men suck. But I think statistically the highest would be homemakers. Like homemakers, you know. I hesitate to use the term stay-at-home mothers, because once a kid is like in the school years, like you're not like sitting at home like darning the socks and, you know, making elaborate meals, and, you know, like it's usually, you know, like you're just not working.
Yeah. Why is that?
Well, I think our society has gotten, a lot of things are much easier than they used to be. You know, if you ever watch on YouTube, like some of those Life in the 1800s, Life in the 1700s channels, like you see how much it takes to like make an apple pie over like a wood stove, you know, like that's a whole thing, you know.
I guess
Whereas
why
now,
does a housewife or a homemaker
Yeah.
/ housewife, like why does she divorce her
I think
husband?
idle hands are the devil's plaything, you know. Like I think I think the tasks that used to be incumbent on a homemaker are very easily done now. And so like if you read like the Unabomber's manifesto, you know, Ted Kaczynski's manifesto, Industrial Society and Its Future, he basically talked about how like the downfall of society was going to be how easy technology has made our lives. And that the pursuit of our basic needs, like getting nutrition, hydration, shelter, is going to get so unbelievably easy that we have to create what he called surrogate activities, which is like things to chase after and do to make us feel like we have purpose in our life. Because really, like most creatures on the earth, other than humans, are trying to make it through the day and not get eaten, and possibly eat enough to make it through the day. So they're trying to find food and not be food. Humans, we've got that down. We have got that down. Like you don't need a whole day to make an apple pie now. I could go on my phone and have 3 apple pies delivered here from 3 different places within half an hour. So when you were a stay-at-home mom in 1920, you were washing the cloth diapers. And a lot of times you were doing it with a wash basin. You weren't doing it with a washing machine that you just stick a pot in, press the button, and go about the rest of your day. If you were cooking something, like prepared foods wasn't even a thing. Like you'd go to the grocer or the butcher and you would buy the things to make a meal, and then you would make that meal for your family, you know? And so it required quite a bit of effort. And so there was an equality. Like the man was out there working traditionally in the 1920s, 1930s, men were in the workforce, women were at home, but they were both really working. Like they both had a really hard job, you know? Now that job's really easy. I'm sorry. I know it's like not a popular thing to say. Like every time I say in the comments that like stay-at-home mom is not a hard job. Like hot tar roofer, that's a hard job. Landscaper, that's a hard job. I'm not saying it's not an important job. I'm not saying it's not a job that doesn't require some bandwidth from you.
And this is the quiet confidence that closes it out. No grandstanding, no over-explaining, just a simple handoff that assumes the audience has been paying attention. Because if everything you've seen so far resonated, then the next video isn't just more content. It's the continuation of a pattern being exposed. The same behaviors, the same contradictions, same playbook. Once you recognize it, you can't unsee it. This kind of outro works because it doesn't beg. It doesn't chase validation. It signals certainty. You know what you just watched. You know why it matters. And if you're tired of pretending these dynamics don't exist, you already know where to go next. That's how these conversations spread. Not through outrage, but through recognition. One clip leads to another, not because of algorithms alone, but because people are finally hearing truths that match their lived experience. So yes, if this one landed, the next one will too, and that's not hype. That's pattern recognition.